A Maryland man living a double life is heading to trial now. Tyler Tessier is charged with the brutal murder of his pregnant girlfriend, Laura Whalen. His trial is set to start next April. Her body was found in a shallow grave last month. Well, Tessier appeared at a press conference alongside Whalen's parents, tearfully pleading for his girlfriend's safe return.
Laura, if you're listening, there's so many people that miss you. We're just looking. We're praying that you're safe.
According to police, Tessier told detectives he was engaged to another woman. Court documents state that Whalen found out about the fiancée and attempted to contact her. Laura was 14 weeks pregnant when she was shot in the back of her head. Tyler Tessier is now charged with first-degree murder. Defense attorney and former prosecutor Bob Bianchi joins us on the story. Bob, certainly a lot to get through here. What is your take on the boyfriend Tyler being a part of and speaking at that press conference?
I think it was a brilliant tactical move by law enforcement and the prosecutor because he was already a suspect at the time. They properly alerted the parents that this guy could be a problem here. And while he's holding their hand and giving this gut-wrenching press conference, he's also giving them data. So I thought it was really artful that they allowed it to occur under these circumstances. And he gave information that will assist the prosecution in actually prosecuting himself.
And Bob, this case reminds me in a lot of ways of the Laci Peterson murder. You find out there's another woman involved. Laci is pregnant at the time. Scott Peterson taking part in the search of Laci, also speaking out. Also, no tears, by the way, when he's talking and acting sad. You never saw any tears with Scott or with the gentleman here. Do you think, though, that the Laci and Connor law, which was signed by the president at the time, George W. Bush, applies here? Will it be a separate crime to kill or harm an unborn child, which the law states?
Great question, because currently right now under state law, they only have life without parole. They don't have the death penalty. Under the law that you allude to, Laci's law, the federal government now does have the ability to execute, to impose the death penalty, regardless of whether the fetus was capable of surviving or not surviving. When I was a homicide prosecutor or the head of an agency making a decision like this, I would be collaborating with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I would be asking them to file charges both in federal court and state court. And then as the evidence kind of pans out and we see what we have, make a decision at that point, because having the death penalty on the table is a very good way of working this case out without the need for a trial.
What is the defense here? If you were representing this guy, I mean, where do you go? Is it that a body has not been found?
Well, no, there's only one defense in this case that I can think of as a defense attorney, and that's to keep him out of the death penalty. That's why it's important the federal government is involved in this, so that's on the table. In death penalty litigation, which I have done myself, the old maxim for defense lawyers is keep them alive 1 more second, 1 more minute, 1 more hour, and that's considered a success. What I think will happen here is if they leverage all the power of the federal and state government, they'll eventually come to a plea agreement in this case, and this case will probably go away without the need for a trial, in my opinion. The evidence is too overwhelming against him.
Yeah, with Laci, they didn't find her body for quite some time. This teacher sadly shot in the back of the head. How much does his personal life matter in terms of being engaged to somebody else?
Well, it provides the motive in the case. I mean, obviously, he's living a double life, and both girls found out about it. And he brings her out to this field. He indicates, she indicates actually in a text message that I'm out in the field for some reason. And he commits the murder, and that's the motive. And prosecutors don't need motive in order to prove a murder, but you certainly like it when you have it.
Almost her texting her family is an indication, look, this guy did it. And I need you to know that, sadly, when you think about that, she may have known her death was coming. Bob Bianchi, thank you.
You got it.